as Arkansas and Ole Miss meet in the state capital of Arkansas. In a series that dates to 1908, these two programs getting together again on a blustery, cold, windy, and wet night here in the state capital. And the Razorbacks take the field looking to snap a 5-game losing streak. Well, they've been anxious to get this game back in Little Rock for some time, in a rare SEC Saturday night game for the Razorbacks here in their home away from home. Welcome to SEC Saturday Night, presented by Holiday Inn Express. And with that, we welcome to the broadcast booth where it's nice and dry. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers. This is an interesting matchup between two offenses which can move the ball, specifically for this Ole Miss offense, which put up record-setting numbers last week. Yeah, they just have three of the best receivers in the country all on one roster. The only group of receivers to average over 75 yards a game. You double cover A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, and DeMarcus Lodge are going to make you pay. And Jordan Ta-amu is as talented as it gets. He can put it all over the field. I think the most impressive stat about these guys is the yards after catch. Not only will they beat you deep, but if you throw it to them underneath, they're going to hurt you with their feet. Matt Luke's offense had a breakout game last week in a win against Louisiana Monroe. They had 826 yards of total offense. That was an Ole Miss record and the second most in conference history. As for what the weather might mean for this offense tonight, let's go down to our guy in the weather, Cole Kubelik.
Tom, it's definitely wet, definitely windy, a little bit chilly down here on the field. And I talked to Matt Luke before the game, and he said the run game will be a little bit more critical. Want to get Scotty Phillips going. One way that I think Ole Miss might be able to do that is tight end Dawson Knox. He's become an extremely valuable blocker in this Ole Miss offense, whether it's coming across the line of scrimmage or as an inline blocker. By the way, a pretty good target as well. He doesn't get the ball often, but with this weather, with this rain, maybe a little bit just shorter, more high percentage passes go the way to the tight end without the capabilities of being able to stretch the field. All
right, Cole, thanks. It's going to be wet and rainy all night long. Meanwhile, on the other side for Arkansas, they've developed really a two-headed monster at the running back position. Devwah Whaley was their starter for some time, and Rakeem Boyd had a breakout game last week. Yeah, I think we saw the blueprint for Arkansas's offense. Get the football to your running backs and tight ends in the pass game and lean heavily on Rakeem Boyd. In the absence of Devwah Whaley, Rakeem Boyd has absolutely emerged as a very talented and very effective back. He's got top end speed, but he's physical enough to run you over. And in this rain, as Cole mentioned, and as he's weathering out on the field, they're going to need to run the football. Arkansas won the toss. They've elected to defer, so Ole Miss will receive. Connor Limpert will kick it away. And Elijah Moore back to receive for Ole Miss. Moore will let it skip through the back of the end zone. And it seems like Hawaiian-born quarterbacks have taken center stage in college football this season. And that story is consistent with Jordan Ta-amu, who was born in Pearl City. Kenzie Milton, Tua Tagovailoa, a couple of other Islanders making their name here stateside. And Ta-amu is not only leading the SEC in total offense, but he's leading the SEC in total yards per play. 13 yards per play. And he's coming off of that performance against Monroe, where he went 21 of 24. He threw for 374, and he didn't take a snap in the second half. Scotty Phillips is his running back. Ta-amu will keep it and scrambled before taking a bump on the edge. Only a gain of 2. Yeah, we've seen all the numbers, Tom, but one thing that stands out when I watch Jordan Ta-amu in this offense on film against the SEC, they have not been sharp. Now, I know they've played some tough defenses, but Ta-amu just completing 43% of his passes. Want to see them get him short, easy throws early on in drives to get him in rhythm. Those three key receivers are on the field now, and on second down, Ta-amu looking for one of them. Got all day, great coverage, and deep downfield with a push-off and a catch is Metcalf, and they're going to say it is a catch. Ryan Poley's wondering where the flag was. That was a two-hand push-off. It goes for 48 yards. Yeah, don't bother the short passes like I just said. Just take a shot when you got DK Metcalf, the 6'4", 230-pound receiver out there. Little push-off.
working against Ryan Pulley there, Arkansas's best corner, but they don't let that play.
Interesting. And now Phillips for the first time, and he is immediately erased by Randy Ramsey. It's a loss of 3.
Boy, and Arkansas needs Randy Ramsey to get going. He was banged up early in the season. He's back now 100%. He is dangerous off the edge, not only against the pass, but there against the run. You got to make more plays like that.
This Arkansas defense has allowed an opening drive touchdown each of the last 3 weeks. Ole Miss on 2nd and 13. Quick hitter. And a wise decision made by Ta-amu as he finds DeMarcus Lodge for 7. Zarquez McClellan with the coverage for Arkansas.
Yeah, just an RPO there. Ta-amu will read linebackers, but on that one, the safety. Santos Ramirez came down in the box and he flipped it out. It's a game within a game that we're going to watch all night.
Number 9, Ramirez, a safety, is a great run stopper. 3rd down 6. Ta-amu taken down by McTelvin Agim, and it's only a gain of 1. That'll bring up 4th down. Randy Ramsey is the one that pressured him out of the pocket.
Miscommunication up front. Ramsey was unblocked. Running back tried to get there, but got to think there was someone else that was supposed to be on Randy Ramsey there. He came completely free.
Luke Logan from 36 yards out. He is 8 of 9 on the season, and is able to punch that one through as Ole Miss scores on its opening drive. A 6-play, 56-yard drive, and Ole Miss on the road has a 3-0 lead. Rebels scored on their opening drive with a field goal, and the kickoff will get into the end zone for an Arkansas touchback by Devion Warren. So here's Ty Storey. He's from Northwest Arkansas out of Charleston High School, where he ran the same offense. He's making his 4th straight start. Graduated in May, was All-State in basketball and baseball as a pitcher and middle infielder for Charleston High School.
Big number there is the 5 interceptions. Got to protect the ball. At least 1 interception his last 4 starts. Did some great things last week against Alabama. Still can't hurt this offense. Got to protect the football at the quarterback position.
They're the most proficient offense this season against Alabama. Scored 31 points. Blitz coming, and it's picked up, and the pass is incomplete.
Boy, and Wesley McGriff, the defensive coordinator for Ole Miss, wasted no time. When we talked to him this week, he said, hey, we got to get after the quarterback. We got to do things different. I expect to dial up a lot of pressure to try to create negative plays, create disruption. First play, brought 2 guys.
Rakeem Boyd is the starting running back. Pressure again from the edge. Boyd runs past it and then gets dropped after a gain of 2 by Josiah Coatney. Boyd was injured in August. Took a while to get into game shape and to get to know the playbook. Now he's taking advantage of it. It looks like Winters will be lost for this game for an Ole Miss defense which has been decimated by injury. So much so they moved 2 running backs to the defensive side of the ball this week. Ole Miss will drop a linebacker and bring another. 5 wide, and wide open up the gut is Rakeem Boyd, and Boyd takes it deep into Ole Miss territory for a gain of 39.
Just a great job here, and an audible at the line of scrimmage by Ty Storey. You're going to get pressure, and he's going to leak Boyd in the void. See, Ole Miss brings 5 there, drops a guy opposite, and great adjustment by Ty Storey.
Storey dumps it off. This is the tight end, Cheyenne O'Grady. And great use of the tight ends last week against Alabama. 3 different tight ends had catches on their opening drive.
Going back to that grave digger package, it's just a quarterback lead. You're going to see Austin Cantrell, number 44, leading. Blocks weren't there, so he just falls forward and picks that up.
Wouldn't you agree that Grave Digger is a more menacing name than Steamboat?
Absolutely. Should have changed that name a long time ago.
Well, busted play. Storey trying to take off with a stiff arm. He wanted to hand it to Boyd, and he either turned the wrong way or Boyd went the wrong way.
Fellas, after to Storey about doing the curls before the game. I was talking to Joe Craddock, and he said, man, he's really taking on that physicality part of it. I'm watching in Cole Kelly in warm-ups, and he's banging heads with his offensive lineman. He's slapping five with everybody. He looked more like an offensive lineman in warm-ups, the way he was running around trying to get everybody jacked up, as opposed to a quarterback with that calm, cool demeanor.
He is awfully excitable. Ty Clary did not have a great snap last time, which may have led Storey to drift to the right. And now they're facing a 3rd and 9.
Yeah, Ole Miss showing blitz. Arkansas changing the play, and Ole Miss calls off the blitz as well, going back into coverage.
Good snap that time. In traffic, and big stop by Ole Miss and Willie Hibbler. It's a loss of 2.
And that's a great job by Ole Miss. They had the blitz on to that side. Arkansas saw it, so they dialed up the screen to the right. But as Arkansas adjusted, so did Ole Miss. They dropped into coverage. That play probably hits big if they're on a blitz, but since they changed out of it and sat in coverage, they were able to come up with the stop.
So Connor Limpert on for a 43-yard attempt. The lefty from the right hash. And in a battle of kickers, both teams have scored on their opening drives. Midway through the first quarter, and Arkansas pays off an 11-play, 50-yard drive. We're locked at 3.
You see, interesting to see how much the rain, as it picks up now, is going to affect Ole Miss's plan to attack through the air.
Here's Phillips, and a physical run just shy of the first down marker. Let's take a look at today's starting lineup, brought to you by PNC.
And because of the rain, we might need to see a little more out of Scotty Phillips than Ole Miss would maybe like. 2 touchdowns last week, leads the SEC in total touchdowns.
It was a first down after the spot on the last carry, and A.J. Brown picks up half of the yardage needed now, and it seems like the Rebels have found a rhythm.
And Ole Miss looking to push the tempo here. 3 receivers and a tight end in the game. We'll see Dawson Knox in the slot here, the tight end.
On the draw, Phillips straight ahead, lost his footing, and it's a gain of 4. I'm anxious to see how this artificial turf is going to hold up in the rain. It's relatively short. You would figure that it's going to get a little slippery at some point.
Yeah, we were down there yesterday. It is short. It's a little older. So you'd imagine the footing will be questionable. Great play there.
Ryan Pulley was all over Braylon Sanders, and it's going to leave a 4th and 2.
Boy, and if there's anybody that Arkansas on defense needs to step up today, it's Ryan Pulley. He's got NFL ability on the outside. 5'11", 198, maybe a mismatch size-wise at times, but he has an exceptional talent and speed at breaking on the ball, as you saw right there.
Mack Brown to punt it away. Arkansas wants to go with a punt safe here. Jared Cornelius and Coylin Jackson back to return. Beautiful punt, and a fair catch taken out towards the 22, a 36-yarder. And that one died in the rain. By the way, play clocks are out tonight. This is something that the officials had discovered before the game, so they'll be keeping that on the field. The back judge will have the clock and try to give as many signals as he can to the opposing quarterback. Does that make it more stressful?
Yeah, even though the ref will give you signals, it really just throws off your mechanics as a quarterback. You're used to walking to the line of scrimmage, looking up at that clock, and knowing just how much time you have. A great run there by Rakeem Boyd.
Picks up 6, another physical run.
Noticed earlier today in warm-ups, Ty Storey's got a glove on his right hand.
Hands it off this time, Boyd for a first down.
It's interesting. Quarterbacks are kind of weird about whether to wear a glove or not a glove. In the rain, though, pretty much across the board, quarterbacks do not want to have a glove on. You lose feeling of the ball, and gloves get slick when it's wet. Receivers hate that. So surprised to see Storey have a glove on. Let's see if he keeps it on and see how successful he is throwing the ball.
Little room on the right side, and busting through is Boyd. Rakeem Boyd is showing what he can do on a gain of 19, fresh off a 100-yard game against Alabama.
So physical, Tom. That's the reason in Devwah Whaley's absence, Rakeem Boyd absolutely took the reins of the backfield. He's a one-cut guy. One cut, he's going to get vertical. He's going to get north and south. And that's the best part of his game right there, yards after contact.
Replaced by Whaley now. And here's Devwah Whaley with fresh legs. And Ole Miss's defense is having a hard time stopping the run. A gain of 6. Arkansas is averaging a gain of 6 yards on first down. That'll set him up nicely. Whaley again, and he'll move the chain.
I tell you what, this Arkansas offensive line is moving bodies. Benito Jones on the Ole Miss side, Josiah Coatney not having a ton of luck up there. This offensive line for Arkansas is setting the tempo.
High snap, that'll blow up the play. Whaley is surrounded and he's dropped. Charles Wiley was the first guy there. They've had issues with Ty Clary and his snaps just about all season long. It really showed up against A&M, so they've been working on his accuracy with him.
Yeah, snaps have been high, or they don't have enough juice on them. It's either or, which really throws off the timing of a quarterback when it comes to the zone read. But on the Ole Miss side, they've been hot and cold on defense. I know the numbers aren't good, 124th in the nation, but they are 12th in the nation in TFLs. So they are disruptive at times, and then they give up a bunch of ground. Really not much in between, as we saw some disruption on that last play after a few big plays by Arkansas.
Corner blitz coming. Storey steps out of trouble. Sideline shot. Wide open shot, and O'Grady.
Touchdown, Arkansas.
Just 3 receptions going into last week for Cheyenne O'Grady. Now 3 touchdowns, counting that one and the 2 last week. He is quickly becoming Ty Storey's favorite target.
And that represents the first lead for Arkansas since the 4th quarter against Colorado State, all the way back in week 2. That was 35 days ago. They eventually lost a 27-9 lead, and they left Fort Collins with an L. Connor Limpert punches it through.
And the kick is good. With 3:24 left to play.
3rd touchdown in the last 3 games for Cheyenne O'Grady, a product out of Fayetteville High School. And the Hogs have a touchdown lead. Here 10-3. This game at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. Away from the Arkansas campus. Fair catch taken, and that will bring the ball out for Ole Miss. 3rd down, 12. Extrament coming. Ta-amu over the middle for a first down. And the Rebels solved the pressure by getting it to Octavius Cooley.
What a big momentum play, just as the crowd is starting to get into it on a big 3rd down. Jordan Ta-amu silences him with a dagger.
Quarterback draw. Ta-amu, great blocking on the edge from Ben Brown, and Ta-amu scrambles for a first down. It's a 22-yard run.
The more underrated part of Jordan Ta-amu's game, they don't do many design quarterback runs, but when they do, they usually catch the defense sleeping, and he's an athlete. He'll make you pay.
This stadium might be small, but it is loud. Ta-amu on play action, going deep into triple coverage, intercepted, or is it? Yes, indeed. Ryan Pulley with the pick. Took it away from A.J. Brown.
There was one guy I said would need to have a big game. It was Ryan Pulley. Pulley and Kevin Richardson there in coverage. And that's the thing, when you got talented wide receivers, and especially a talented one like A.J. Brown, sometimes you're going to give him the benefit of the doubt and throw a jump ball, but really that ball should have come down to the check down on the outside. Jordan Ta-amu took a chance, but Pulley just made a better play.
Pulley played in exactly one stadium last year. That was this one, War Memorial Stadium. He was injured in the opener against Florida A&M. Ta-amu talking it over with Phil Longo. On play action, Storey on the bootleg. And he drills it for a short yardage gain to Cheyenne O'Grady. It'll be a pickup of 2.
You guys were talking about O'Grady a little bit earlier in the game. I talked to Joe Craddock, the Arkansas offensive coordinator, on the field before the game, and he said he's a guy in fall camp that they really thought they were going to be able to lean on. Didn't get on the same page early, had a suspension early in the season. Said the last 2 weeks he really sort of bought into what this coaching staff expects from him, and that's the main reason that he's been a big part of the game plan. Said they plan on using him a lot moving forward.
And I love talking with Craddock. He said it's not necessarily about things that'll help him in football. It's getting him right for things that'll help him for the rest of his life. Open on the edge after the blitz is Michael Woods. That's good for a first down. Let's get you to the studio. Here's Dari. Beginning to think Tua Tagovailoa is pretty good at this quarterbacking thing.
20 touchdowns.
Boyd's good at this running back thing. Open field, and he is pulling away. 69-yard sprint for Rakeem Boyd. Rakeem Boyd has 6 carries. He's already over 100 yards in the game, and we're not yet out of the first quarter. The longest Razorbacks play of the season. Limpert splits the uprights. Arkansas trying to snap a 5-game losing streak, has a 2-touchdown lead.
You're going to see a great block on the backside here by Johnny Gibson that's going to spring Rakeem Boyd, getting to the second level, coming around the edge, blocking Willie Hibbler, and that was it. Sometimes it only takes one. If you can get an offensive lineman on a linebacker or a secondary player, you know it's going to be a big play, and Boyd had the speed to make him pay.
Ole Miss trying to answer. That score came after the Ta-amu interception. Wanting to throw again. And it is caught with a great toe tap from DeMarcus Lodge. Leaves 2nd and 1.
Lodge is so good at those intermediate stop routes. Him and Ta-amu have a great relationship in that area of the field.
On the ground, Scotty Phillips. Enough for the first. An incredible first quarter here in Little Rock. Under the lights for an SEC Saturday night game at War Memorial. It is a rarity, and early on, the Rock is lit. 17-3 Hogs. We start the second quarter in Little Rock with Arkansas on top 17-3. Rebels trying to run it, nowhere to go. Randy Ramsey again.
This offense still got to find a little rhythm here to counteract some of the momentum. You see the numbers. Ta-amu hasn't been great in the SEC. You ask why? Well, they throw the ball downfield a lot. So a lot of times there's tight coverage. There's better DBs in the SEC.
They come up with man coverage here. Crossing route, A.J. Brown, a shove for more, and he takes it to midfield on a gain of 14.
Boy, that is a next-level catch. The ref was in the way, and that was a rocket by Ta-amu. So A.J. Brown working a little high-low combination there, a dig with a pull route underneath. Good read, good accuracy, and a great catch.
Ta-amu taking a shot. Flag. And that might be a push up on DeMarcus Lodge. We'll see. Jarquez McClellan, the freshman from Lake Worth, Florida, had the coverage. Remember, Ole Miss got away with a push off early.
Number 24 defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
That one will go against the Hogs.
Yeah, this is close. There is physical contact. McClellan trying to turn his head and play. If he turns his head a step and a half sooner, Tom, that's probably not called because he's in good position. You're allowed to wall off a receiver. You just got to get your head around.
Not a good sign. DK Metcalf, sophomore from Oxford, who's 4th in the league in yards per game and has 5 receiving touchdowns, is headed back to the Ole Miss locker room. Ta-amu has nowhere to go. Trying to improvise. And he scampers for a gain of 5. Michael Taylor trailed him out of bounds.
That was just an RPO, a run pass option there. Probably one where Jordan Ta-amu should have let that one go to the running back. He's reading this guy. He's looking. If he bites in, he's going to throw the pass behind him. But it ends up being man coverage. Watch his eyes. He looks at it. That defender never added to the box. That's one of those where you hand it off. You'd be happy with a few yards.
Isaiah Woolard is in at running back now for the Rebels. Design draw. Ta-amu straight up the gut. Stays on his feet. And it's an 18-yard touchdown plunge for Jordan Ta-amu.
Twice now. Picked up chunk plays on a quarterback draw. It's the movement to the left there, the right of your screen that pulls one of the linebackers. Then you have a lineman and a running back leading up on one linebacker. Great play design and a great call by Phil Longo, the offensive coordinator.
43 of the 75 yards on that drive were eaten up by Jordan Ta-amu runs. The last one giving him 6. Matt Luke says, I don't need a hat. I don't need a hood. I like the rain. I'm an old offensive lineman. And his team has found some rhythm. We got a touchdown game here in the Rock. The weather has taken a turn. And Ta-amu wearing the poncho on the sideline. It's blowing the flags on the left side of the stadium to the left. The ones on the right side of the stadium to the right. I don't know what kind of vortex we're in right now, but I'm glad we're covered.
That's a quarterback's worst nightmare.
Storey still going with the glove on his right hand. On his passing hand. And a hand warmer behind him. He is 8 of 9 throwing so far. High snap. Storey will keep it. Lots of room. Ty Storey dances his way towards midfield. It's a 22-yard run.
Boy, the high snap almost throws it off, but this is just a zone read. They're going to read this guy. He crashes down. Storey's going to beat him around the edge. Doesn't even really need to put it in the gut of the running back. It happens so fast, but keep an eye on those snaps.
First down for Ty Storey in the Razorback offense. Little bubble to Cornelius. He wants to throw. Throw back to Storey. He gets stuck. He took a shot to the gut. It's a loss of 5, and that is a perfectly legal play for Victor Evans. A quarterback turned into a receiver is not afforded the same protection as they are when they are simply a quarterback.
And Ty Storey is really the outlet on this play. Jared Cornelius wanted to take a shot to a receiver in the end zone. Going to see the first throw here to Cornelius. Actually going to see the running back going straight down the field. It's Chase Hayden he's trying to hit. The quarterback's the outlet with some linemen to block for him.
And so Storey, the former Charleston Tiger, is still down on the field. Interesting talking with Arkansas coaches this week. Cole Kelly has not been getting the majority of the #2 snaps. Rather, it's been freshman Connor Nolan. And so Kelly really only used in certain packages at this point of his Arkansas career.
Good to see him walking off.
Last 2 plays for Ty Storey. A couple of big time shots. This was targeting. They got Vernon Dasher tossed for the game. And then Cornelius with the throwback and a clean hit with a shoulder. Metcalf is back on the field. Shoulder pads off. Not a good sign for Ole Miss's offense. On 2nd and 15, it's Cole Kelly going deep and got it. First pass attempt, a touchdown strike to Michael Petway. And it's like the Gravedigger also gets great fuel efficiency.
Wow.
He's versatile.
Cold off the bench in the pouring rain. You've been taking 3rd string reps all week and you throw a dagger. That's big time right there.
Arkansas for the extra point. Is caught delivered with Tech holding.
Arkansas's offense came in averaging 25 points a game. Early on in the 2nd quarter, they're nearly there. Cole Kelly with his 5th touchdown pass of the season. He took a shot and it pays off to Petway. Starting quarterback out, back up in, and the offense keeps cruising. 24-10 Hogs. The Drummers, our editor Mike Gay, he took advantage of our trip to Little Rock to jam out with some of his boys. We call it Mike Gay and the No Name Band. What's your name for the band? Because it really literally has no name.
Mike and the Mullets.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a great name for a rock band. That was at Rodney's Handlebar and Grill last night. May have seen some of our crew there. Others didn't want to be seen. Scooped up by Elijah Moore. Looking for the edge. And then a cutback and a spin. And Moore fakes everybody out and fights his way to the 40. It's a gain of 27 on the return. Ta-amu on the run. Fires a strike. And A.J. Brown is right near the marker. Let's see the spot. Brown 10th in the country in catches per game, just over 7.
He's such a big mismatch as he's headed out of the game. Plays slot receiver. He's 6'1", 230. Not many nickelbacks that can match up with that guy.
Here's Scotty Phillips. That will convert the first down. Yeah, they moved Brown into that slot just for that reason, to take advantage. And the other idea was we've got A.J. Brown, DK Metcalf, DeMarcus Lodge. Why would we ever have any one of those guys on the sideline?
Yeah, how can we get all these guys on the field at once? Lodge and Metcalf better on the outside. A.J. Brown very versatile.
Ta-amu throws against the grain. That's good for a first down to Braylon Sanders.
You know, this is when Ole Miss is most dangerous. Yeah, they're going to run by you. They're going to take shots. Ta-amu's been good running the football. But when you don't hit home, when you don't get to Jordan Ta-amu, his ability to create, and these receivers on the scramble drill are when they're at their most dangerous.
Ta-amu, they got one hand on him. They can't bring him down with another, and he's able to pick up 2.
Didn't have enough room in the pocket to find anybody on that one, but the previous play, moving to his left, changing his arm angle, finding Braylon Sanders for a big play on a second reaction scramble drill.
A check with the sideline on 2nd and 8. Remember, the play clocks are not operating tonight. They're being kept on the field by the back judge. Ta-amu broken up on a sensational play by Jarquez McClellan. McClellan Island doesn't have the same ring to it, but the result fits.
That's a route they love, a stop route on the outside. Great coverage. Big third and long here.
Ta-amu lost the football. Phillips able to fall on it. And that'll bring up 4th and long, and the kicking team will come to the field for Ole Miss.
And it looks like a little miscommunication. I feel like Ta-amu was supposed to hand that off. He sees the linebacker jetting through, decides to keep it, and didn't have a hold of it.
Luke Logan will line up for a 45-yard attempt as long this season is 40. And it will hook left.
With 7:03 left to play in the half, the score still Arkansas.
The miscommunication, which led to a fumble, costly for Ole Miss. They're unable to convert after a 9-play drive. Razorbacks lead by 14. New quarterback in the game. It's Ty Storey once again as he returns from injury, and Storey scrambles for a gain of 17.
And again, defensive ends for Ole Miss on the zone read are running straight at the mesh. You call that mesh busting. A couple schools of thought, you either slow play it, keep your shoulders parallel, or you go straight for the mesh. But that's what can happen if you don't guess right.
Storey hands it off this time. And a big run for Devwall Whaley. Pickup of 7.
Boy, nice block by Austin Cantrell, tight end for the Razorbacks out front there. One of the more mature leaders on this football team. He's one of those old souls on the team. He's married, he's got a young child, and he's a guy that this offense has relied upon to add a little extra physicality.
So that'll leave 2nd and short. You take a shot here?
Well, you know the answer when you ask me. I would always take a shot, but I'm trying to see now. The rain's still coming down. We haven't seen Ty Storey push it downfield, so I imagine we'll stick to the game plan. We get man coverage here.
It is a moist evening here in Little Rock. Devwall Whaley is the running back. Swing pass to Whaley. He's got the first down. Pickup of 5. Jarquez Jones with the stop.
That tells me right there, I don't think Arkansas is going to live and die by the shot ball, especially with Ty Storey in the game. They had man coverage on the outside there, had a chance to look to the sideline, change the play, and opted for a short throw to the running back on one-on-one coverage on a linebacker.
Here's Hayden. A land shark salute for Jarquez Jones. Able to get to Hayden behind the line of scrimmage. That will leave 2nd and long.
It's getting a little testy down there.
Yeah, it's kind of had that feeling all night, hadn't it?
This Ole Miss front has had their pride just hammered all year. Haven't been good on defense. And sometimes that just starts to wear on you. You got to keep it between the whistles, though. It's one thing that Wesley McGriff, he wants you to play with passion as a defensive coordinator. He'll match that passion in how he coaches you, but got to play between the whistles so you don't hurt yourself and get 15-yard penalties.
Storey looking for his tight end. Instead, yeah, O'Grady, but he pulled up short. Tight ends, key part of the pass game for Arkansas, and of course, a big part of the running game for what they do up front. That's the focus of our latest Cole Cuts.
Well, Tom, you got to figure out how to hide your tight ends. You can line them up in multiple places. Here you see Austin Cantrell staying in pass protection and slip out. A little screen underneath. Nice deception back in the backfield with the running backs as well. Tight end lined up to the other side. O'Grady again shows pass protection, slips out for a screen underneath. Joe Craddock has done an excellent job of lining these tight ends up in different places and running different routes with them to disguise ways to get them the football.
Storey going underneath the screen from O'Grady to Michael Woods. And it's a gain of 4. That time they had O'Grady lined up off the line of scrimmage to try and spring Woods.
Yeah, and utilizing the tight ends and the running backs has given Ty Storey the confidence of completing balls, getting easy layup throws. Third down there. I would like to see him push it past the sticks.
38-yard attempt for Connor Lippert. And this one will just curl in. And Lippert, the junior from Allen, Texas, is a perfect 2 for 2. From the 7, Elijah Moore. Third down 9. They only bring 4. Ta-amu complete for a first down. Braylon Sanders with the grab. Gain of 18. 140 and counting. Ole Miss has all 3 timeouts remaining.
Great job of throwing in rhythm there. Just a curl flat on the outside. Pressure was coming, but Ta-amu got rid of the ball in time.
Ta-amu trying to find an open receiver, and that is caught, and that's unfortunate for Ole Miss. It's a loss of a couple and keeps the clock running. Now they'll use the timeout. Remember, Luke Logan, their kicker, has already missed from 45. So they got a ways to go. His long this year is 40. Ta-amu complete to A.J. Brown, stays in bounds, picks up the first down, and makes a couple of guys whiff.
Wow. That just shows you how special he is with the ball in his hands. Ta-amu works the right side of the field, comes back to his second read in A.J. Brown. And like I said, you don't have to work the sidelines. You got time, you got timeouts. Good job by A.J. Brown getting a couple extra yards.
Ta-amu out of the shotgun. Greenlaw showing pressure, number 23 in the middle. He'll back off. They bring Richardson on the other side. Ta-amu that direction. And catch made by DeMarcus Lodge. Nope, incomplete. The back judge again coming in to overrule the other guys.
Going on the field is incomplete pass. Second down.
That's a catch.
That's a catch, yeah. It doesn't look pretty, but he's controlling that.
After further review, the ruling is the pass was complete at the 36-yard line. Be first and 10 at the 36. Reset the game clock to 58 seconds.
Ole Miss can stop the clock twice more. Lots of pressure coming. Ta-amu over the middle. Here's Knox. And he'll get out of bounds inside the 20. It's a gain of 17.
That is such a good job of knowing where your hot route is. Might have been a little warm there. Had guys for the blitzers, but a great job of finding the quick underneath throw.
Ta-amu trying to take off. First down. Gain of 13 with 42 seconds left.
Keep an eye backside if they do throw to DeMarcus Lodge. They love the back shoulder here.
Ta-amu pumps left, looking back right. And fires at the pylon, incomplete. 37 seconds remain.
Ended up getting to Lodge, but he wanted to work the 3 receiver side first. And again, that's why I love a timeout by John Chavis as the defensive coordinator for Arkansas. Gather your guys, get in the right coverage, communicate. Turn down good coverage there.
This will be the 10th play of the drive.
A.J. Brown right there. The little room.
Ta-amu bullet right side, complete. Touchdown to DeMarcus Lodge.
Ta-amu's pass complete to Lodge for a 6-yard touchdown.
One play off. Now they come to the back shoulder.
That was a bullet.
Saw that watching film all week. They love that throw, and they love throwing that, and really only throw that back shoulder to DeMarcus Lodge into the boundary. That's so hard to defend. Ta-amu throws that so well with such great timing and velocity on that throw is really what makes it.
And now Lodge comes up limping. Point after from Luke Logan is good. First half will wind down with Arkansas holding a 10-point lead in the rain in front of a loud crowd here at War Memorial Stadium in Little Rock. The Razorbacks are trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. They put up 303 yards of offense. They're averaging 9 yards a play, and they're averaging 9 yards a gain on first down. Cole Kublik standing by with Chad Morris.
Coach Morris, over 100 yards rushing for Rakeem Boyd in the first half. What do you expect his status to be for the second half?
Well, we don't know. We're going to evaluate it at halftime and see where we're at with it.
What did you see from Cole Kelly to take the shot in the first half that led to the touchdown?
Well, you know, he's ready. He's played this year. He's played in big games, and so you know, we just felt like we're going to get him in there and let him go.
You've seen your quarterback Ty Storey hurt you on the ground and also have success through the air. How do you evaluate his performance in the first half?
Well, I think he's a trooper. I think he's playing really hard right now, really well, and just leading us right now. We just got to go in there, make a few adjustments, and come out, and we have to start strong second half.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Great pace for both sides. Arkansas with the lead at the half, 27-17. Now let's get you to the studio with Doring and Chiz. Welcome back to SEC Saturday Night, presented by Holiday Inn Express. 2 quarterbacks leading their team. Jordan Ta-amu on the left is the leading rusher for Ole Miss. Meanwhile, Ty Storey's picked himself up after a couple of hard hits, and he's had an efficient first half. Been quite the shootout. Welcome back. Tom Hart alongside Jordan Rogers. I guess it's what we expected from an offensive standpoint. This is an Arkansas team that's having a lot of success running the ball, and Ta-amu once again putting up big numbers.
Yeah, the story for me is Arkansas picking up where they left off against Alabama. You start to see this offense change what they wanted to do. Storey's been efficient, and really, Rakeem Boyd has been outstanding. Arkansas dominating the line of scrimmage. Rakeem Boyd is eating up the ground.
Well, Matt Luke's got to love it. Former Ole Miss offensive lineman himself. And in the first half, guys that are getting it done. Boyd's already over 100 yards. He had over 100 in the first quarter alone. No chance for a return for an Ole Miss angle. Let's get down to the soggy field and check in with Cole.
Tom, I spoke to head coach Matt Luke on his way back out. He said he's happy with his offense, pleased with their effort, feels like they've moved the football, just need to capitalize when they get into scoring positions. And he said, Cole, defensively, we just have to find a way to get stops, and it's down to execution. We haven't seen anything that we didn't prepare for. Nothing has really surprised us. Just have to execute and find a way to get stops defensively.
Doesn't that all start, as you mentioned, with their D-line? Are they trying to get some stoppage on the run?
Yeah, I think they got to try to disrupt, and you do that a lot of ways in the pass game, but even more so the run stunts. Movement up front is really going to try to get in the way of that run game.
Pressure coming. Whaley runs right past it. Gets a nice block from Cantrell, and he takes it to midfield on a gain of 16.
Great block by Austin Cantrell. Cole mentioned it. He's as valuable as there is a player for Arkansas in the run game, as you can see him come from across the line of scrimmage, that split zone. He's never played safety at this level. Tommy's a running back. He was a running back until a week and a half ago. And asking Wesley McGriff about him. Getting his first playing time last week. Wesley McGriff said, I had about 5 or 6 plays I felt comfortable with him doing, so he didn't play a ton. Said he was going to have about 10 for him tonight, but he felt comfortable with him executing. He said more often than not, if he's on the field, we're going to bring him. He's going to pressure. He's about 5'6", 171 pounds, so he gets lost in the rush sometimes, can be a very dangerous weapon coming after the quarterback.
You see the numbers from the running backs. You have 2 guys on that side of the field for Ole Miss who were both in running back meeting rooms 2 weeks ago. Linton and Knight. Linton will drop in coverage. Here's Whaley. And he found a seam. Cole, how is Arkansas having so much success up front?
2 things, Tom. Number 1, dedicated to the double teams. You're not seeing guards or centers leave each other early to try and climb to the second level. They're making sure they get movement at the point of attack. The other is what Jordan mentioned right as we came back in the second half. Ole Miss playing high risk on defense, slanting, stunting, blitzing, essentially at times taking themselves out of their run fits and allowing Arkansas to hit big plays, especially on cutback runs.
It's paid off in a big way for Arkansas. Here's Chase Hayden. He slips through. Hayden to the outside. And a stampede chasing him. A 17-yard gain with a sophomore from Memphis.
And I mentioned it. Hasn't really got going this year. Just 109 yards on the ground coming into this game. But remember last year talking with Brett Bielema? Early in the season, he said, hey, we got some good backs, but watch out for this true freshman, Chase Hayden. He's dynamic. He's going to be the guy at some point. And again, to reiterate, Arkansas 3 running backs deep now with Chase Hayden, Rakeem Boyd, and a healthy Devois Whaley.
Hayden ends up losing yardage after dancing behind the line of scrimmage. Ross Donnelly, senior out of Houston, comes in for the stop. Eighth play of the drive. High snap, and that allowed time for Kadir Shepard to come in and blow it up. It's a loss of 4. He almost got Whaley and Storey at the same time.
Yeah, that's why those high snaps are so difficult. You're going to see Kadir Shepard come right off the edge. That high snap takes Ty Storey's eyes away, but this is not a read. They're not reading him. So that play has to get off so much quicker. That's why that snap's so important. That running back's got to be out of the way because the backside defensive end is not blocked.
Looking for protection on 3rd and 14. Remember, the play clock is not operating on the field. Storey steps up. It's Whaley out of the backfield. Lost his footing. Surged for it, and the spot will have him right at it. Pardon me, that will leave 4th and 10 now.
Yeah, really good coverage downfield. Storey had an opportunity to step up in the pocket. He was trying to push the ball past the sticks. Had to settle for a check down, and Ole Miss again strengthening in the red zone. Really good stop there, forcing another field goal.
37-yard attempt for Connor Limpert. He is made from 43 and 38. And that one will hook in. Limpert is a perfect 3 for 3, officially a 38-yarder. And Arkansas scores on its first possession of the half.
Back at War Memorial Stadium, injury report for the Arkansas Razorbacks. Tailback Rakeem Boyd in street clothes for the second half. No clarification from the Arkansas training staff as to what his injury is, but looks like he's finished for the night, Jordan and Tom.
It was a productive first quarter for Boyd and a productive first half. Over 100 yards, but now looks like it'll be Whaley and Hayden the rest of the way. Opportunity for a return for Ole Miss. And it's Isaiah Woolard. First possession, second half for Ole Miss. Pressure. He escapes somehow. This turns into a loss of 2. But Armon Watts picks up his 3rd sack as he takes that Ta-amu out of the line of scrimmage.
This is one Watts is going to want to have back. Tries to make a play on the ball there. You love it. Gets his hands around the quarterback, trying to strip the ball, but you cannot let Jordan Ta-amu use his legs and get out of that tackle.
3rd sack of the night for Arkansas. On 2nd and long, Scotty Phillips. Trey Greenlaw and company there to swallow him up, along with Ramirez. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long.
You have to think a little easier for John Chavis to dial up some run defense. No DeMarcus Lodge, no DK Metcalf, no A.J. Brown in the lineup on that 2nd down play.
Five wide for Jordan Ta-amu on 3rd down and 11. Caught by Cooley, and Octavius Cooley grabs the sideline, and Cooley will go all the way, 66 yards on the 3rd and long.
We mentioned it in the 1st quarter. The 2nd reaction plays where Jordan Ta-amu gets outside the pocket. You're going to see McTelvin Agim working. He's got to stay on the outside. You cannot allow Jordan Ta-amu to break contain and go scramble drill. I mentioned this team is dangerous in the scramble drill. Great job by Cooley there, breaking a tackle and showing some athleticism for the 265-pound tight end.
And so it's a 6-point game all of a sudden midway through the 3rd quarter. On 3rd and 11, it looked like the Razorbacks had stopped Jordan Ta-amu and Ole Miss. Cooley had other thoughts, and the 265-pound tight end rumbled in from 66 yards out.
Rush lane integrity and squeezing or constricting the pocket for a mobile quarterback is how you got to handle it. You cannot allow him to break contain.
Ty Storey, quarterback for the Razorbacks. Ball in his hand and incomplete, trying to find Austin Cantrell.
Ty Storey pass.
Back in 2015, Arkansas knocked off Ole Miss in overtime. It was a 4-point win 2 years ago, and a monster comeback to the Razorbacks last season. Ole Miss had a 4th quarter lead in all 3 of those games. Corner blitz coming. It's Whaley. It's a gain of 13. So finally this place was built. Ticket revenue could go up. And they've committed to playing the spring game here every other year and a conference game every other year. Storey pressured. They got a hand on him, but he escapes. A Houdiniac by Ty Storey. And he's safe at 2nd base on the slide with a gain of 13.
This has been a big part of Ty Storey's development, is staying patient and staying calm under pressure. You can see him step up in the pocket, eyes stay downfield until the very last moment. And he's able to make a play with his feet. Something we didn't see the first 2 or 3 weeks of the season.
It was interesting because after the first 3 weeks of this season, this coaching staff had a decision to make. They had played freshman Connor Nolan at quarterback, and they have decided after that Colorado State game that they could either hug and love on their kids and support them, or they could be critical and point out all the mistakes, and there were plenty of them. Storey with the completion for a 1st down. And so what they decided, and what Chad Morris told his coaching staff, is we need to hug and support and love and tell these guys that we're here for them. And part of that is playing Ty Storey at quarterback to give the best chance to win every night. even though it may not be the best long-term plan in terms of the development of a young quarterback.
Yeah, sometimes as coaches you get caught up into correcting and watching film week in and week out, and you forget to really foster an environment that's positive.
Linton is a single high safety. He was a running back as of 2 weeks ago. High snap again, busted play, and Storey will be swallowed up by a host of Rebels. It's a loss of 3. And once again, the most important exchange in the game, the center quarterback snap, has caused timing issues for the Hogs.
And no matter the play, whether it's a direct handoff or whether it's a read, look at how this timing throws it. Chase Hayden, he sees the high snap. He's wondering if he should pause and wait, and by that time, you're too late. That play has got to hit it immediately. They're not blocking some of the ends on some of those inside zone plays, so that high snap is just killing the opportunity to hit it big.
Wesley McGriff's defense taking advantage of it. 2nd down 13. Ole Miss in desperate need of a stop. Try and hold on to momentum. Storey steps up. Thought about throwing. The hesitation gets him a couple yards, but that's going to leave 3rd and long. 20th play of the half for the Razorbacks. Only their 2nd 3rd down this half.
Arkansas taking a lot of time. Guys on the field don't know how much time's on the play clock because that clock is out. Hurry for the snap.
Storey fakes, now throws. That snap came off with less than 5 seconds on the play clock, which is being kept on the field by the back judge, Matt Holyfield, and the only signal the quarterback has is when Holyfield holds up his hand, signaling 5 seconds remaining. And there's a little bit more leeway given in situations like this.
It felt like they were running up against the clock, but impressive. Ole Miss, yes, they've given up 30 points, but again, forcing a field goal in the red zone. They're a top 20 team in the entire country when it comes to red zone efficiency. They're playing well there tonight.
Great hold by Jack Lindsey, and it turns into the 4th field goal of the night for Connor Lippert. He is a perfect 4 for 4. Fair catch taken. Cole. Here's Isaiah Woolard, and he gets taken down.
Well, that was a really nice job by Arkansas defensive tackle, defensive end McTelvin again. He moves all around that defensive line, did not get sucked down too far, played the edge, kept his shoulders square, and forced that play to bounce outside.
Yeah, it took on the block, Cole, and then showed some speed. Catching up to the running back, impressive by Agee.
Draw. Ta-amu free. And finally tripped up by the safety, Cameron Curl, only after a gain of 26.
5th or 6th time we've seen that exact play. I mentioned Phil Longo only has a playbook of about 28 plays, run and pass combined.
And Ole Miss will walk it down to the other side of the field here at War Memorial. In a series that dates to 1908. Another thriller brewing between the Rebels and the Razorbacks. Welcome back to SEC Saturday Night, presented by Holiday Inn Express. Drake Greenlaw, key part of this Arkansas defense. First play, 4th quarter. Phillips straight ahead. 1st down to midfield.
Phillips on the carry. Cameron Curl on the stop after the 47-yard line.
Another strike. This one to Braylon Sanders. 6 yards that time as Ta-amu shares the wealth.
These are some of the throws that we didn't see previously in conference games for Ole Miss. Attributed to the low percentage completions for Ta-amu. This is good. Keeps the offense in rhythm, allows them to stay in tempo.
Checks down to his third receiver, and it's a little too wide for Braylon Sanders.
You know, another thing those quick throws do, Jordan, is slow down the pass rush on plays like that, because the offensive line is essentially blocking run with a lot of those quick throws in either the RPO or play action game, so it doesn't allow the defensive line to just tee off.
Third down, 4. To Woolard out of the backfield. Great blocking on the edge. Woolard has a first down. DeMarcus Lodge made it possible.
Ta-amu's pass complete to Woolard.
Great read, great play design here. Look at all this space right here.
29-yard line.
3 receivers, just 2 defensive players. They add a receiver or a running back over there. It's a 3-on-2. Great, easy, high completion play on 3rd and short.
Ta-amu will take off on the quarterback draw, trying to get past Curl. He does, and he's all the way to the 1. 28-yard run by Jordan Ta-amu.
That play has been lethal for Ole Miss tonight.
Officially marked at the 2. Ta-amu's got 126 yards on the ground. Isaiah Woolard scrambles through. He shot right through the hole, and he's in. He went underneath his own offensive lineman. It's a 2-yard touchdown run as Isaiah Woolard dug a tunnel to the end zone.
What a great second effort by the true freshman, Isaiah Woolard. Everybody thought he was down. Knees stayed up, kept driving his legs, found his way into the end zone. Tell you what, you might be frustrated as an Arkansas fan of why these quarterback draws keep working. That drive was masterful. Short, quick throws, get the ball outside, stretch the defense. Linebackers have to widen out and allow those lanes for Ta-amu.
Key point after for the struggling Logan, and he pounds it through to give Ole Miss only a 2-point deficit. This is what made it possible.
Look, just 5 defenders in the box. You have a running back on the linebacker, offensive line on the 4 down front. Man, it's a perfect design. And like I said, that's made because the short throws that make the linebackers vacate the box and worry about stretching the field horizontally. And then Woolard just keeps driving his legs.
I mean, he was like a mole rat there.
Yeah.
He just dug his own tunnel, found his way in. He's only 5'9". Short kick. Coylin Jackson led it hot. That took away the fair catch, and then he went to a knee.
We knew it was going to be close, right? We thought the rain might throw us off, the wind, the weather. Arkansas out to a hot start, and then Ole Miss has just chipped away and fought back.
Worst starting field position tonight for Arkansas. Kelly pulls it back, and it's incomplete. He's trying to find LaMichael Petway.
That's a ball that has to be caught by LaMichael Petway. Receivers have not been as involved in this offense as they may like. They've been focusing on blocking and trying to be integral to this offense. Out of 25 completions last week, just 8 by wide receivers, but they got to catch them when they come their way, especially with your backup quarterback in.
Kelly. And Grave Diggers grounded that time. It's going to leave 3rd and 8.
Tell you what, this is where you miss Ty Storey, not just for the decision making, but Ty Storey's athleticism on pass plays allow him to break the pocket and the zone read. Remember how many times early Ty Storey was able to get to the edge on the zone read. Kelly will go between the tackles, but he's not the kind of guy that'll beat you with his legs on the edge. And in 3rd and long, backed up here, he's got to be smart with the football.
Complete for a first down on a bullet to Petway.
great throw and a better route by LaMichael Petway, who just had the drop on first down. Did a great job on the comeback on the outside. In order for that to be successful, you got to get on the toes of the defensive back, threaten him vertical, which he did, and that's why there was so much separation there. Got that defensive back to turn his hips, start running downfield. A wide open comeback and a great throw by Cole Kelly.
5 seconds left on the play clock. Here's Hayden. Remember, Arkansas has lost Keem Boyd to injury in this game. Devwall Whaley has not returned since an ankle injury. Hayden is their third stringer. They've lost their starting quarterback, Ty Storey. Kelly, for all intents and purposes, is their third string quarterback.
And with 2 minutes and 40 seconds left here, that clock is running. Chase was lucky there. They kept rolling the clock. He's got to try to stay in bounds, force Ole Miss at worst to start using some of these timeouts.
Kelly will take off on a quarterback draw. He's able to pick up a yard. And a timeout taken by Ole Miss.
To the 33-yard line, stopped by Shane.
This series has been full of drama. We take you back to 2015 in Oxford.
It will be 4th and 25. One last chance for the Razorbacks.
Allen gets the snap. He's going to fire to the sideline, complete to Henry, but Hunter well shy of the first down. They've got a lateral it back. Picked up by Collins. Alex has got room at the 30, 25, 20. This game's still alive, and the Hogs have a first down.
Brett Bielema's team bounced back from a 4th and 25 long shot to get that into overtime and win it in heartbreaking fashion for Ole Miss. Matt Luke was an assistant on that team with Hugh Freeze, the head man, and each of the last 3 have followed, if not as odd, still as similar a script. 3 fourth-quarter leads for Ole Miss, 3 losses. Now they're trying to turn the table on Arkansas, and they need another big stop as the Razorbacks face 3rd and 5.
Rush lane integrity for the pass rush here. Cole Kelly won't beat you outside the pocket, but if you leave a lane, he'll tuck it and get vertical.
Kelly looks for Hayden. And it's knocked away. Beautiful play by Willie Hibbler. Hibbler came out of high school as the number 7 tight end in the country out of North Panola in Mississippi. And he's turned himself into a remarkable defender.
Great job here. Boy, if C.J. O'Grady turns for the ball, he may have a chance with no one guarding him.
Second punt of the night for Reed Bauer. Both of them have come in the 4th quarter. Elijah Moore stands at his 26. Whoa, that one takes an Arkansas hop. It's going to drive all the way inside the 5. A 64-yard punt to flip the field by Bauer. And it's a long way to go for Ole Miss with 2:02 to go.
All right, 2 minutes, 2 timeouts. You got plenty of time. Backed up here, expect a run to start this drive.
They've got 97 yards to go. Incomplete. Trying to find Braylon Sanders.
I might have put the ball on the ground, give yourself a little breathing room, knowing you got plenty of timeouts. Still plenty of time on the clock, and then you got to go 97 yards, but now you got to throw it.
And remember, Luke Logan, their kicker, has missed 2 field goal attempts tonight. 1 from 28, 1 for 45. Ta-amu over the middle. Complete to A.J. Brown. That'll give him some breathing room. 20-yard gain, 1:49 to go.
Jordan Ta-amu has owned the middle of this football field today, Jordan.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable, and he's coming back to the middle time and time again on his second and third read. Working the one receiver side first and then back to the three receiver side.
One to go deep. They got him covered. Ta-amu scramble drill. That is incomplete and no flag. McClellan had the coverage on Sanders. Boy, the naked eye, I thought there was a lot of contact when that ball was in the air.
There was. That's
got lucky.
That's bang bang. But boy, if Ta-amu puts that out ahead of his receiver, there's a lot of green grass, and he had a step on it.
Pump right, back left. It's a tight end, Knox, and Dawson Knox has the sideline. Knox in a foot race, and the former walkout quarterback is caught up with inside the 30. 48-yard gain.
Said it early on this game, yards after catch have been crucial for Ole Miss this year. The tight end getting involved as well.
You think they have to get inside the 20 to feel good about a field goal attempt from Logan, who missed from 28 earlier.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised at some point they come back to that quarterback draw. It's been so good for them.
Rebels have 2 timeouts. Linebacker blitz. Ta-amu. Left side, plenty of room. And he dances out inside the 15. 17-yard scramble after they brought pressure. This was the catch by Knox a moment ago.
And just a little whip route working inside. Curl flat there. It ends up being a great job by DeMarcus Lodge. He's on a curl route, but as soon as Knox catches it, he starts to block. And this is what we've seen all night. Jordan Ta-amu has been brilliant with his legs, whether it's a designed run or escape in the pocket on a pass play.
528 yards of offense for the quarterback. Here's a draw to Phillips. Scotty Phillips carries it to the 5. 1:03 and counting. Rebels content to let the clock run. They have 2 timeouts remaining, and they want to leave as little time as possible should they get a go-ahead score here. Phillips again. He's in! And the Rebels have the lead on a 5-yard touchdown run. That is Ole Miss's first lead since it was 5-0. Pardon me, 3-0.
What about a minute and 20 seconds, 98 yards?
97 officially, 97. But yeah, who's the quibble? So they'll go for 2. Play action. Ta-amu, the back of the end zone. Incomplete. No flag. Trying to find Cooley. Already has a touchdown tonight. 42 seconds remain.
With Cole Kelly in there, you can really stretch the field. In this situation, with 42 seconds left and 1 timeout, you're going to have to stretch the field. He's probably your best option from an arm talent standpoint. So it's good that he's been in the game.
Here's Warren off of the squib kick. And he gives Arkansas great field position. Then he runs right over an Ole Miss player well out of bounds. 33 yards on the return. No flags on the play. Devion Warren gives Arkansas a chance.
Boy, this really helps. Really helps. Great field position. You have a timeout, so you can still essentially use the middle of the field, especially in the first few plays of this drive. Middle of the field, still an option. Still got the timeout. Just need a couple chunk plays.
Kelly uncorks it. Intercepted! And Ole Miss is going to snap the losing streak. Zedrick Woods with the pick. What a comeback by the Rebels.
That's been the Achilles heel of Cole Kelly. Had a receiver open, just airmailed that one. Way too high, not even close. He brings that ball down. It's a big chunk play. But how about Ole Miss's defense, Tom? strong in the red zone all night. Yeah, they gave up 33 points, but when they needed to, they played strong. That's just a miss. That's just not a good throw.
Arkansas led 33-24 at one point in the fourth quarter. Their last 3 possessions ended with a pair of punts and a pick. And a heartbreaking loss for Arkansas here in the central part of the state. It'll be their 6th in a row. The Rebels will improve to 5-2. And what a job by Matt Luke and this Ole Miss coaching staff. No bowl in their future. But they told their players, you play for the team, the individual rewards will come. It will benefit all of us. What an amazing comeback by Ole Miss. After facing 2 punts and getting a pick to turn back Arkansas late in this game. They led 3-0, and then they trailed the rest of the game till the end.
I was going to say disappointing for Arkansas because you had it, you dominated in a lot of facets. But Ole Miss, credit to them for coming from behind, continuing to fight. And Jordan Ta-amu, spectacular in the second half.
528 total yards from Ta-amu, 4th most by an SEC player in a conference game in the last 15 years. Jordan Ta-amu, something
Coach
special
Luke,
tonight.
how does this one feel?
Our final score, 37-33 Ole Miss. Let's get you to the studio with Dari, Chiz, and Dory.